What if your life isn't unfolding forward in time, but is actually being revealed from a place where it already exists? What if the world you experience every day isn't being created right now, but is selected moment by moment from an infinite field of possibilities by something far quieter than your actions? This place isn't mystical or distant. It's not some imaginary fantasy land. It's the inner dimension where your thoughts, your imagination, and your sense of identity meet reality before it ever becomes visible. The crazy thing is, most people live their entire lives completely unaware that this dimension even exists. So, what is this place? Think of it as a layer of reality that's beyond what your five senses can confirm. Not above the world, but beneath it, like a foundation. In this dimension, everything already exists as a potential, not as solid physical objects, but as states, patterns, and outcomes just waiting to be selected. This means your external life, the one you see and touch, doesn't actually begin with an action. It begins with your inner dialogue, those quiet conversations you have with yourself on repeat in your mind, the assumptions you make without even noticing, the images you return to again and again, especially when no one is watching. These aren't just harmless thoughts. They are instructions. They are the blueprints for what shows up in your world. From the time we're kids, we're taught a very simple rule. What you see is what's real. But here's the catch: your senses only report what has already materialized. They can't show you what's currently forming. By the time something reaches your eyes, your ears, or your hands, it has already passed through an invisible stage of selection. This is why just reacting to what you see keeps you trapped in a loop of repetition. You're always responding to yesterday's inner world, to the thoughts and feelings you had before. True change, deep change, begins before any external evidence appears. It starts in that unseen realm. And this is where imagination comes in. Imagination isn't just for daydreaming or fantasy. It's the interface, the bridge between the unseen and the visible. When you truly imagine something with emotional involvement, really inhabiting a state. Feeling it as real, your nervous system responds as if it's actually happening right now. And your body never argues with your imagination. Your posture subtly changes. The tone of your voice shifts. The decisions you make begin to realign, almost automatically. You don't have to force reality to change. You simply become compatible with a different version of it. A different possibility that was always there waiting for you. This is the first major turning point, and it's where most people get it wrong. They try to make something happen through brute force and effort. But creation doesn't mean inventing something from nothing. It means bringing forward what already exists as a potential. Your inner world acts like a compass, not a factory. It guides you. It doesn't build things from scratch. What you consistently assume as normal about yourself, about life, about what is possible for you, that quiet assumption is what selects the version of reality you walk into next. So here's the key insight to take away today. Reality doesn't respond to effort. It responds to your state of being. And your state is shaped first and foremost, by the conversations you have with yourself when no one interrupts you. Every rejection you've ever experienced, every delay, every unexpected obstacle that just seemed to pop up out of nowhere. What if none of them actually began out there in the world? What if, instead, they were echoes, reflections of something that happened inside you long before the event ever occurred? I know this can be an uncomfortable idea to consider. It feels easier to blame external forces, bad luck, or other people. But stick with me, because understanding this is where you get your power back. This is the key to stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your reality. So let's talk about the forgotten mechanism, the engine running in the background that most of us completely ignore. Long before any external event appears in your life, whether it's a failed project, a missed opportunity, or a difficult conversation, there is a subtle internal movement. It's often just a whisper, a fleeting doubt, a quiet hesitation, a simple, seemingly harmless sentence that you tell yourself, like, "I'm not sure I can really do this," or "This probably won't work out anyway," or maybe, "Who am I to even try for that?" These thoughts feel so insignificant, don't they? They're like mental background noise. We dismiss them as random, unimportant, or just a part of our brain being overly cautious, but they are not. In fact, they are the most important things happening in your day. These tiny, internal sentences are the seeds that shape your expectation. And what does expectation do? Expectation shapes your perception. It acts like a filter for your reality and your perception. What you believe to be true and possible determines absolutely everything. It determines what you notice, what you avoid, what you pursue, and what you abandon, often before you even consciously make a choice. If you expect a meeting to go badly, you'll be hyper-aware of every slight frown or critical tone, filtering out the positive cues. If you expect a project to be difficult, you'll see every minor hiccup as proof that it's destined to fail. Your inner dialogue builds the lens through which you see the world. This brings us to a common feeling many people have. Maybe you've felt it yourself. People often say things like, "The world just doesn't support me," or "Why does it feel like nothing ever works out for me?" Or the classic, "I keep hitting the same wall over and over again." It feels like you're pushing against a force that's actively resisting you. But what if that resistance in the outer world isn't a punishment? What if it isn't fate? What if it's simply a mirror, perfectly reflecting a conflict that's happening in your inner world? This isn't about the universe being mean to you. It's about a mismatch in signals. Think of it like this. When your inner dialogue is divided, you're sending out a fragmented, incoherent signal. On one hand, you're saying, "I really want this new job." But on the other hand, in the quiet of your own mind, another voice is whispering, "But you're probably not qualified enough. Someone else will get it." You consciously desire one thing, while subconsciously expecting failure. You are in a state of internal civil war. Reality doesn't respond to your loudest desires. It responds to your most consistent, coherent beliefs. The universe reflects coherence, not just want. When you project a mixed, fragmented signal of "I want it, but I don't think I'll get it." The universe doesn't know what to do. The reflection it sends back is equally fragmented and confusing. Missed opportunities, almosts, and near successes that fall apart at the last minute. That feeling of hitting a wall is often the external experience of your own internal division. This is where we get stuck in what I call the trap of three-dimensional thinking. Three-dimensional thinking is the default setting for most of us. It operates on a simple physical world logic. I will believe it when I see it. I need proof. I need evidence. Show me the job offer. Show me the money in the bank. Show me the perfect relationship. And then I will allow myself to feel successful, abundant, and loved. But here's the problem with that model. By the time you see it in your external world, the inner conditions that created it have already been set in motion long ago. You're always playing catch-up, reacting to a reality that was baked in weeks, months, or even years before. Four-dimensional thinking completely reverses this order. It's a paradigm shift. It says, I will align my inner world first, then I will see the results. This doesn't mean ignoring facts or living in a fantasy world. It's not about pretending you have $1 million when your bank account is empty. It's about understanding where facts come from in the first place. Facts are the end product of a trajectory, not the beginning of one. When you deliberately shift your inner dialogue, you don't magically change your external circumstances overnight. That's not how it works. What you do is far more powerful. You change your trajectory. And over time, trajectory always determines destination. Imagine two ships leaving the same port. One is pointed 1 degree north of the other. For the first few miles, they look like they're going to the same place. But after 1,000 miles, they will be in completely different parts of the ocean. That 1 degree shift in the beginning makes all the difference. Your inner dialogue is that 1 degree shift. Let's make this really practical. Imagine you want to pivot to a completely new career path. The three-dimensional approach is to wait. You wait for reassurance. You look for job postings that are a perfect fit. You wait for someone to give you permission or approve of your choice. You wait for a feeling of certainty before you allow yourself to feel confident. The problem is, confidence that depends on external evidence is always late to the party. It's reactive, not creative. Now, let's look at the four-dimensional approach. You decide on your new career, but instead of waiting, you begin to experience the state of being that person. Asterisk, internally, asterisk, right now. You start talking to yourself as if you are already that successful graphic designer, that skilled carpenter, that trusted consultant. You ask yourself, what is the emotional tone of that identity? How does it feel to be competent and valued in that field? What kind of contribution do you make? You begin to inhabit that state in your imagination, in your meditations, in your self-talk. And then something amazing happens. You begin to notice opportunities that you previously filtered out. Your brain, now primed to look for evidence of this new identity, starts spotting things it ignored before. Won't you overhear a conversation about a company hiring for a role you'd be perfect for? An old friend calls out of the blue and mentions they know someone in that industry. An idea for a project surfaces at just the right time, giving you the perfect portfolio piece. Did the world magically change for you? No, you changed. Your perceptual filters changed. You changed your internal coherence, and the world, which is a reflection, had no choice but to start showing you a reality that matched it. You started sending a clear signal, and reality responded with a clear reflection. This leads us to the real function of faith. Faith has been misunderstood for centuries. It's not about blind belief without any evidence. It's not wishful thinking or denying reality. Real functional faith is loyalty to an inner reality asterisk. Before asterisk, it becomes visible in the outer world. It's a quiet steadiness. It is a resolute refusal to let surface appearances, the day-to-day ups and downs, dictate your inner alignment. When the rejection email comes, you feel the disappointment. You acknowledge it, but you don't let it change your core inner conversation. You say, okay, that wasn't the door. The right door is still opening. When a setback occurs, you don't use it as evidence to confirm your old fears. Instead, you hold true to the feeling, the identity, the reality you chose internally. This is how inner dialogue becomes destiny. Not through force, not through struggle, but through quiet, unwavering consistency. So, here's the key insight I want you to take away from this. Your world is not reacting to what you want. It's not even reacting to how hard you work. It is responding with perfect and impersonal precision to what you assume to be true about yourself and your life, especially in those quiet moments of doubt, silence, and uncertainty. Those are the moments that count. Your life is a reflection in a mirror. You can't change the reflection by yelling at it or trying to manipulate it. You have to change the person standing in front of it. Change the dialogue you have with yourself. Maintain that new conversation with gentle consistency, and the reflection in the mirror must, by law, follow. Thanks so much for watching. This is where so many people get it wrong. They hear about imagination, inner states, and the unseen dimensions, and they immediately try to use it all to escape life. But that's not the point at all. True inner alignment doesn't detach you from reality. It anchors you more deeply into it, making your experience richer and more meaningful. The real transformation doesn't start with spending all day visualizing fancy outcomes. It begins with something much simpler: observing your inner conversations, not judging them, not fighting them, just noticing them. And here's the key: recognizing that these inner conversations are not neutral. They are causal. Every single repeated thought, every sentence you say to yourself in your head is a vote for a future state. You are constantly programming your reality with your internal dialogue. This is why awareness must always come first. You simply cannot change what you're not aware of. Most people aren't controlled by their circumstances. They're controlled by their own unnoticed assumptions. The moment you see a pattern clearly, without adding drama or judgment, it begins to lose its grip on you. Awareness creates distance, and that distance gives you the power of choice. You're no longer on autopilot. So, how do you make the shift? It's not about controlling your thoughts, because trying to control them just creates tension, and trying to suppress doubt, that only strengthens it. The real shift happens when your attention moves from fighting the old unwanted state to simply inhabiting the new desired one. You don't destroy your old identity, you just outgrow it. Think of it like outdated software on your computer. It stops running once the whole system gets an update. When this inner alignment starts to stabilize, your actions in the world become simpler. You stop forcing things. You stop overthinking the timing of everything. You just respond naturally to life as it unfolds. Your decisions feel quieter, but they are so much clearer. You're no longer just reacting to life, getting tossed around by events. You are actively and consciously participating in it. This isn't about denying the physical world. It's about understanding that the physical world is downstream from consciousness. It follows a clear path. Your inner dialogue shapes your perception. Your perception guides your behavior, and your behavior creates your experience. If you change the beginning of that sequence, the ending has to change. So here's the final insight I want to leave you with. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are not trapped by your past. And you are definitely not limited by what your five senses are currently reporting back to you. You are the observer who chooses the state from which your entire life unfolds. And the moment you truly realize that, the future stops being something that happens to you, and it becomes something that responds to you. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, make sure to like and subscribe for more content on mastering your inner world. I'll see you in the next one. If you're still here watching my videos, I want to say something simple. Thank you. In a world of endless noise and distractions, the fact that you choose to spend your time here means more than you can imagine. It means you're one of those rare people who wants to go deeper, question reality, and look inside yourself, not just outside. I'm honestly happy that there are people who share these interests, these questions, this search for meaning. So if you feel this space resonates with you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who might need it. Your support helps this content reach more people who are also quietly searching. Thank you for being here, really.